Yes, happy? Inside happy? It's the most important. Happiness only is from inside. You can never find happiness outside. It's impossible. So first I would like to dedicate and to create the motivation for the time we're going to spend together. So I'll just do some prayers in Tibetan, okay, and you can dedicate that, create that motivation. Sangye chelang, sungye chelang, changdu pardu nami gyatsu, ye chizo yebe, sonam ye, rola, penje, sangye, dhruva. Sangye chelang, sungye chelang, changdu pardu nami gyatsu, ye chizo yebe, sonam ye, rola, penje, sangye, dhruva. Sangye chelang, sungye chelang, changdu pardu nami gyatsu, ye chizo yebe, sonam ye, rola, penje, sangye, dhruva. Basically, the motivation dedication is. Is it too loud?
No.
The motivation is just dedicating your time. I mean, what do we have? We actually question. There's many factors, right? So one of the things that we can share with people is our time, right? Our presence, and our space. That's something we have to offer. So basically, we're dedicating that for the benefit of others. Okay, so we're going to help ourselves, we're going to spend time with ourselves, learn how to love ourselves, learn how to take care of yourself, learn how to be happy with yourself. And then from there, that's the starting point. Then you can share that, right? Otherwise, if you feel lonely at home, whoever you're with, you're still going to be lonely. If you're unhappy with yourself, wherever you go, you'll be unhappy, whatever the circumstances. So it's not about the circumstances, right? It's about the perception that we have of those circumstances. That's what makes us. So that is really the definition of our state of mind, of our attitude towards life. It's based on our perception. And what we don't understand is that we have a choice to choose how to perceive the reality. So basically, we understand the essence of that reality. We understand that what we perceive is through the five senses, right? Everything we perceive, that we call life or reality, is through the five senses, right? So those are the five senses, and then there's one mind, one consciousness that perceives. Okay, and then of course we have a mind that like labels it and tries to condition it. Because why? Because we want to put things in boxes. We want to feel that we're in control. But if you think about it, we're not even in control of what's going on in our body. We don't even know what's happening in our body. How do we even expect to control it outside? It's impossible. And the only reason we have this concept of, I need to control, I need to put things in boxes, is because we're scared of change, we're scared of the unknown. So through that fear, we create a lot of suffering. But if you actually observe, where does fear come from? If the fear basically comes from like being scared of losing something that's not even ours. So what do we really have actually, for example? I mean, of course, we have this concept of belongings, materialistic belongings. So this is my car, this is my house, like that. But if it's really yours, nobody can take it from you, right? Nobody can take it. Nobody can steal your car. So if somebody else can take it, it means it's not really yours. It's like borrowed almost. Temporarily, it's available for your use. Right? Temporarily. And that is what we have to understand, that suffering is temporary. And happiness is temporary also. The true happiness is a state of mind. It's a constant state of mind. So where do we aim first? Non-unhappiness. To not be unhappy. Right? And what do we do? How to create the causes to be happy? Because I think we will all agree that what we're looking for is happiness. That's what we want. I think everybody, be it animals, be it humans, even amoebas, single-celled amoebas want to be happy. So So basically, okay, I want to take step by step. So this body, for example, you can say it's mine, right? I have no control within my body. I can't change my habit. I mean, you can if you meditate enough. This body is infinite, it has infinite potential. But we're not aware. Why? Because we are too focused on the outside world. We think that there is more outside than inside, somehow. I don't understand where the logic is there, but that's how it is today. And it has been like that for a very long time. So basically what Dharma is talking about is that the true happiness lies within. And if we're able to tame our mind, domesticate, then we'll be much happier. Because most of the times, the reason why we're not happy is not because of the circumstances, because we choose not to be happy. Because we choose to perceive it in a certain way, because it's based on our habits, based on the memory. So we relate to the moment now, based on our memories. If we took away all the memories, we can't even open a door. You know, I know people who have Alzheimer's, quite advanced. They forget to open a door. They can't open a door. They don't know how to open a door. So we base our reality a lot on memory. So that's also a very important factor, how we relate to the reality that we are seeing every day. So this body is temporary. You know, this body, most of the atoms, molecules in our body were created in a star originally, or stars, maybe different stars, and eventually will become worm food, right? Food for the worms, and just go back to stardust. So meanwhile, this body is available for us to use. We can understand and see and exchange. But that's what life is about. I mean, what's the point of being free if you can't share? What's the point of being happy if you can't share? Life is about sharing. You can have all the material wealth you want, but in the end, what do you really want? Time and company. Real company. People who really love you, who really care about you, right? And that you can care and love them too. That's what we're looking for. That's basic. So many times we are all looking for happiness, but the means that we're trying to get there, we know it's not going to make us happy, but we still keep doing it. So Dharma helps us not to fool ourselves, because our mind can be very, very tricky. You know, we have a mechanism. The ego has a mechanism. It's a self-defense mechanism. Okay. I mean, there's so much I want to talk about. If I start talking about something, change subject, please, if I forget, please remind me, okay? Trying to get all the information out. But yeah, the ego has a mechanism, okay? So many times, meditation. Meditation is a very important factor for our happiness. Every day, we have to meditate, even if it's 2 minutes, doesn't matter, 3 minutes, 10 seconds. You can stop thinking for 2 seconds, you can stop thinking for 10 seconds. Right? And then you train 1 minute. So where is the peace of mind? The true peace is when your mind is off, when you're not thinking. That's the real peace. That's where you have the real peace. If you're not at peace with yourself, any situation is going to bring you, stress, or be disturbed or unhappy. Because it's very easy to blame the outside world for our own problems. That's the easiest thing to do. Most of us, that's what we do. We don't want to take responsibility. We want to judge others, We want to compare with others. If you want to compare with yourself yesterday. If you want to compete with yourself yesterday. Everybody's different. Everybody knows different. Nobody knows more or less. Nobody's better or worse. Everybody is who they are. That's it. Each person has a function. Each person has their place, what their life is, what their aim is, what they want to achieve, how they want to achieve it, their own perception, their reality, based on their experiences, their culture, their tradition, language. There's so many factors that make us who we are today. But the important thing to be aware of is change. Right? So time was created to measure change. But what is change? Change is vibration. Materialistic vibration, right? So everything is vibrating. That's what change is. Many times we're scared of change. We want to just... Actually, we act like immortals. We have an attitude of like an immortal being. You know, we relate to others as if everybody else is immortal, including ourselves. So with this attitude, we are not aware of change. We're not aware of impermanence. And that's a really important factor in life, you know. I mean, life and death, it's a cycle. It's not, oh, suddenly it's finished, it's over. No, it's not like that. It's a transformation. And every morning, you're reborn, and every night, you pass away. And it's a training, okay? And it's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. That's life. So we are scared of the unknown, you know, because we like to put things in boxes and be sure about what we think, you know, label things, you know, condition things. And, because that's our reality. We want to impose our reality. So we don't observe things as they are. So one of the things, for example, we relate to our reality through the five senses, right? But what we interpret is the interpretation only. It's not what really is there. If there is no perceiver, the object is not the same, right? I mean, if there is nobody to see, observe, or perceive, nothing has color, nothing has taste, nothing has form, or no smell, nothing. It's through us that magic happens. So we get so attached, we really believe things are real, even though, first of all, science talks about how our brain, so what we see is upside down in our brain. And our brain automatically puts it back straight, right? Even that process we're not aware of. As hard as you try, you won't be able to see things upside down. Well, maybe we a little bit. We live a little bit like that. But that's just one more thing, you know. One more, very obvious thing that's been shown by science. And so what we perceive has absolutely nothing to do with reality in itself. Because it's already an interpretation of interpretation. And then, of course, we put that reality of our experience. So nobody will see as you see, because everybody sees differently. I can't impose my truth or my path or my belief on you, because each person has to find out for themselves. Each person has to walk their own path. We are here to help each other. We're here to learn from each other. But ultimately, we are the ones responsible for our life. Okay? And I think that's something that we many times try to avoid observing and accepting. It's much easier to blame others or blame the circumstances for our own suffering, which, if you think about it, we create by ourselves. So, what is the first step? So the first step to be able to be more aware of reality, in order to be happier, how to change that perception. So we start with gratitude. Why is gratitude so important? It's like the cornerstone, the base of happiness. So one of the main reasons why we suffer a lot is because we're self-centered. We believe we're the center of the universe, and everything goes around us, right? That is one of the reasons why we suffer so much. But we are wired that way. Society is an individualistic society. We are also a collective. But we really give importance to the individual, which we have to, obviously. We are isolated within our body. And the only way to communicate for now is through the five senses. Right? You smile, you hug, right? I can cook for you, I can play music for you, I can paint for you, and I express what I feel. But telepathy is still something that we still have to work on a bit. But for now, that's how we communicate. So if we are grateful, then we create the space to be more aware of others. We forget about ourselves more, and then we don't suffer so much. Why do we suffer so much? Because we are always going around, me. I want to be happy. So basically, we react in 3 different ways to the sensations that we perceive through the body, right? So one way we react would be, I want, grasping, attachment, fear of losing. I want it, I want to keep it. I don't want to lose it. So you don't even enjoy it, actually. You're not even aware of this reality. It's impermanent. It's moving, just like you. You're flowing with the river. You can't grab your breath and be like, no, I want to stay here. What's going to happen? Eventually you're going to have to let go of the breath. So it's better, just to flow with the river. Build yourself a kayak, a canoe, and go to the ocean, and build the river, the flow. So, gratitude is the first step. When you are grateful, then you're not the center of your own universe. And we do need to have that concept. There's a balance, in life there's a balance, a community. So, we are proud because we are, because we exist, because who we are. But we have to be humble because we belong. We're part of something. Right? So that's the balance. But so that's why it's important also to be aware of me, right? Because that's a tool that we can use to improve. I want to improve in order to help others in ways. I want to improve because I want to help other people to have a better life. What do I want? How can I offer that? But you can't just give. You also have to take care of yourself. And you have to start with yourself. Self-compassion. Right? Then you can be compassionate with others. So when you're grateful for what you have, suddenly you become much more present. I wasn't very present there. So when you're grateful for what you have, that's when you become much more present. You're like, wow, I have this, I have that. Wow, those people, that person, wow. And then you forget about the problems, really. And then you're more aware of other people's problems. Oh wow, maybe that person's suffering, maybe that person has this difficulty. Maybe I speak so kindly to that person, like that. And then we're more aware. And that automatically will create more happiness within you, because you will be more light-hearted. You'll be able to see things without this egoist, self-centered sunglasses. Think of sunglasses. It's a little bit like ignorance, right? If you're ignorant, then you're seeing everything through the sunglasses. That's it. Sunglasses are the ignorance. So what we're trying to do is take off the sunglasses, so we can see things as they are. So step 1, gratitude. Empathy. The more we care for others, the happier we're going to be. It's going to come back to us. Don't worry about that. And if it doesn't, if it doesn't, then we are like, oh, I did my best, I tried my best, but they're not grateful, they don't see it. That's because it wasn't unconditional. It was conditional. You were expecting something. You're expecting people to put you on the pedestal and be like, oh, thank you, so they can feed your ego, caress your ego, So it's not that. You really have to be aware of your own mechanisms, the mind, every day. And that's why meditation is so important in a daily routine. It's like a muscle. You can't expect to have big muscles from one day to another. You can't expect to achieve your goals from one day to another without any effort. The mind is the same. If you don't train the mind, if you do not domesticate the mind, it's going to take over. The mind can be a wild animal, you're not careful. And then you will be following that wild animal, and it's going to destroy all the furniture inside your house. And talking about a house, for example, emotions, destructive emotions, for example. It's a very good example. If somebody came to your house at 4 a.m., knocking on your door, even if it's a family member, you'd still open the door a little bit and be like, what are you doing here? Did I invite you? Right? You're going to be suspicious. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, come in, especially if it's a stranger. You're not going to be like, come in, would you like some tea? This house is yours, do whatever you want with the house. If you want to burn it down, burn it down. That's not how we act, right? But why do we act like that when a destructive emotion appears? Why do we give that destructive emotion full power to our body, to our mind? Completely. And on top of that, we think we're right. Even though we may regret it afterwards, and when we do regret it, we don't want to recognize it. Because that's the mechanism of the ego, to protect itself. So these are just different aspects that we have to be aware of. So the mind can be very tricky, can be your best friend, can be your worst enemy. Okay? And basically what Dharma is telling you is save yourself from yourself. And it's true. What I fear most is myself. So, empathy would be the second step for happiness, right? Because when you're empathic, you care for others. You desire for their happiness, for their bienestar, no? You say, how do you say it? The well-being of others. And then you forget about your problems. Your problems are not so big, they're not so important. Why? Because also they're temporary. You can't try to grasp something, because that's going to bring suffering. So why do you suffer? Think about it. What is suffering? There's a physical suffering and there's a mental suffering. The mental suffering can be so much bigger than the physical suffering. Physical suffering is just minimum compared to the mental suffering. So, if you do not domesticate the mind, if you don't use it as a tool, then you identify yourself with all these chaotic thoughts, come and go. You try to grab them, and believe them, and follow them. And then our whole life is based on those thoughts. But if you really observe the thoughts, they're just like clouds. Come and go. They look solid. When you go to grab, what happens to a cloud? There's nothing. Right? It's like that. You can't grab the thoughts. You can't identify yourself with the thoughts either. So that's why the training of the mind to domesticate, to turn off the mind, is like it's a tool. It's like your hand. Imagine if you gave the freedom to your hand like you do to your mind. I think it's a horror movie. The hand goes crazy, attacks people or something like that. It's a little bit like that idea, that concept. So every day, if you can, especially in the morning, because you're still fresh. When you fall asleep, your mind is turned off automatically. So there's two types of meditation, basic kindergarten meditation. One is in the morning, one is at night. So when you wake up in the morning, when you're still fresh, and try 2 minutes, not to think anything, just breathe. Deep breath. Not the nose, not from the nose. Not like that, from here. That's the breath that we have when we are asleep. Most of the times during the daytime we don't use that. So when we turn off the mind, I mean, of course we think, that's impossible. That's not impossible. Nothing is impossible, first of all. Nothing is impossible. It's only impossible if you believe it's impossible. So you try to not think. So basically don't give too much importance to your mind. If it comes, just observe it. Let it come, let it go. Right? If images come, just push them out. Or close the scenario curtains. Or just sometimes, it works. Just imagine you are a meteorite in the middle of the universe just traveling and you have no capacity to think. You're just a stone. Right? So that also helps to create the conditions to not think. And when you actually are able to achieve that, or for example, also you can say that doesn't work, you can also put to work your mind, your monkey mind. So when you put it to work, also it has also a good result. So how do you put to work the monkey mind? For example, another meditation, just observe the breath coming in, coming out. What sensations you have here, under the nose and on the upper lip. Just observe that, just this time, this space, right here. Just that. How it comes in, how it comes out. We are breathing all our life, but we are really not aware of this process many times. We're not aware of our body. Many times we're not so grateful to our body until it gives us problems, and then we are aware of our body. But the body is our best friend. The body is tirelessly working for us, making available this opportunity every day. So when you're grateful, first of all, grateful to your feet for lifting your body. Grateful, we are healthy, we have a shelter, we have food, we have company, we have wisdom. All of these aspects of life that are so valued. Okay, and apart from them, what are the real values? If you think about it. Is it true values outside this materialistic wealth? Accumulating, or influence, fame. Is that real true values? When you die, can you take that with you? Not only that, but it actually, you're worried. Or how do I keep it? I don't want people to take it from me. I want to get more. How do I maintain it? All these aspects are going to create more worry. But if you actually observe, well, the true values are the inner values. And those values that make us happy, those values that when we share them, they multiply. That's the true goal, the inner goal. Patience, humility, understanding, empathy, gratitude. Being present, compassion, kindness. Those are the true values. You can take that to your next life. No problem. Nobody can steal that from you, ever. Only you can destroy that yourself. That's all. You're the only one responsible for that, for your karma. Karma is a concept, is a word, is a Sanskrit word. In Tibetan would be ye kundari. It's the same meaning. It means the law of cause and effect. So we are in a cycle of death and rebirth, life and death. It's called samsara. And the reason we're stuck in the samsara is because of the three poisons. The three poisons are represented as three animals: the pig, the snake, and the chicken. So each animal represents a poison, which is ignorance, attachment, and which is the one? Huh? Hatred. Thank you. And that's just the beginning. Okay. So the true inner values are going to help us to eradicate that, to neutralize it. Because that's just going to bring us suffering. Why do we feed it so much? The ancient native wisdom, there's a lot of ancient native wisdom. One of the examples they put is like, we have two wolves, a white wolf and a black wolf. And you choose which wolf to feed. And that is the wolf that's going to prevail in your life. That's the one who's going to take the presence. So you can choose to feed it, all these negative things. Or you can choose to feed the white wolf all this good, positive, high frequency vibration, emotions, or values, attitudes. So the choice is yours. Okay? So, yeah, we could do a little bit of a workshop, maybe. So I would really appreciate you ask me questions, or you maybe come up with a subject you would like me to talk about. So that would be really good. That's really helpful for me, because then I know what you're looking for. Okay?
Okay, so after empathy, what's the next?
Okay, so gratitude, empathy. There's so many, but that's at least a starting point. Gratitude and empathy. And then, of course, very important factor, to understand the reality. To understand the reality. That is a very big step, but it is a long process. So that's why meditation, there's two types of meditation. One is analytical meditation, and one is practical meditation. You can do that any time of the day that you want. You can be working, you can be driving, and it can be a meditation. As you can just be aware of your thoughts coming and going, be aware of your emotions, be aware of others, how they feel. And then, of course, to check your mind again and again. And the practical one to be being, to be aware that we are being. We're not something, we're happening all the time. We're learning constantly. So that's why we know that we don't know anything, because we're learning. Every day we are bombarded by so much information that we receive, and then we interpret that information based on the memory. But we're learning about what we're receiving every second. Even the day we die, we're learning about the process of death. Right? And it's just a transformation. That's it. We're still learning. So you never think, oh, I know more than him, or I know, less. Oh, I know, we're learning, it's a process. So that helps a lot, okay? So when we know that we're learning, then we can really observe things in a much more realistic context. And that is what we try to do. Because, for example, one of the aspects in Dharma, they say, so first you need the method, okay? Top method, which is compassion, loving kindness, warm hearts, being kind, starting with yourself. That's the method. Without that, forget it. Then the one that's complementary to that is wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And then the third complementary one is renunciation, Ngejung. So tap, shirap, and Ngejung. Renunciation. Now, in Ngejung, Tibetan, the meaning is much bigger than just that word renunciation. It doesn't really cover the meaning of Ngejung. So the other aspect of Ngejung, apart from renunciation, so renunciation basically is not like, oh, I don't want to suffer, so I'm going to stop doing everything I like and I'm going to suffer in order not to suffer. That's not renunciation. For some people it may work. I don't know. But for me it doesn't work. So it's okay, you can live your life, you enjoy, you be aware. If you're aware, you enjoy much more actually. Because you don't grab, you don't grasp. You really enjoy it, you let it pass, and then you're happy that it happened. To let go doesn't mean, oh, that's it, it's gone. To let go is to appreciate and to enjoy. That's to let go. When you appreciate, when you enjoy, you let go. And there's nothing that you can really grab. You can't grab anything because everything's changing. So if you don't change with life, you're going to hit your head on the wall. That's what Dharma is telling us. So the other aspect of renunciation is once you know and you understand the reality, then automatically we're not so attached anymore. Automatically it's not such a big deal. The good things or the bad things. So we become more equanimous. And that's one of the aspects that make us suffer so much. We perceive the sensations and then we react three ways. I want this, grasp, mine. Or rejection, I don't want this. I really don't want this. And you suffer, you don't want to reject. The third way is indifference. I don't care. This doesn't matter to me. So we are reacting and we're creating a conditioning by reacting. And that conditioning is making us suffer. Because we create a habit. And we repeat that habit again and again. So how to break that condition is by being equanimous. Equanimous. Try not to react. Just be equanimous. And then you can really see things how they are. And enjoy them. Observe them. And then you can share also that experience. How to help others. You can be talking a lot, but the best example is to be the example. We see that with children all the time. Right? They learn from example much more than any other aspect. So these are all things that we have to be aware of in our everyday life. So we start the morning with a 2-minute meditation, shut down the mind. Breathe. If it comes, don't worry. Let it pass. Let it pass. Slowly, eventually you'll be able to get peace of mind. Through that peace of mind, you will hear the true voice within. The heart and the intuition. Okay? Heart, stomach, intuition.
How do you think that technology is affecting the true meaning of happiness? I mean, I feel like with social media and all that, you're more disconnected from your inner, and the fake concept of happiness is, we're more disconnected than ever in a way. So we are animal beings.
From my perspective, I think we are entering a cold age. Okay, yes, we do misuse what's available to us, but I think that's the history of humanity. It's been like that. We've always misused what we have. If you observe, maybe we're native to this planet, I don't know, but we do not act like native. We're not acting like it. The animals are for sure 100% native. Humans, not sure about it. We do not adapt to to what is surrounding us. We want everything else to adapt to us. In other words, instead of wearing shoes in order not to hurt our feet, we want to cover the whole surface of earth with leather. So we don't, so we can walk barefoot. But that's the thing, just cover your feet with leather, and then wherever you walk, you're going to have leather, right? So this is just the concept. But that is the attitude humans have since forever. We have misinterpreted, misused what's available to us. So technology is just one more aspect. We are in a golden age, we are entering a golden age. First of all, His Holiness the Dalai Lama shares the surface of Earth with us. We share the space, we share the air, we share the resources. We're sharing so many things constantly. We are a collective, But you're right. It is true that social media, telephones, internet, all of this does kind of create a separation gap. And it's true that, for example, we do not appreciate so much the presence of someone as much as we used to. Why? Because we can tell whatever we want through a message anytime. Back in the days before there were phones, when I grew up in 1991 in India, in the south of India, we barely had electricity. We had 3 hours of electricity every day. There was nothing, basically. None of this, no telephone, no music. At the beginning, we had firewood to cook. So slowly, everything started arriving. By 2003, we had internet, we had telephones, we had asphalt road, all these aspects. But I can tell you from experience that at that time, even before all these cell phones and all these concepts were invented and created, before we met somebody or saw someone, we would be like, I want to tell them this, I want to talk about that, I want to talk about this. So you're trying to remember everything, and then when you see the person, you really appreciate the presence. You're really aware. You're present. These days, I want to say that we just and maybe half of the time we're in front of someone, we're actually looking at the phone screen. We're not really with that person. We are, but half of the time we're looking at our phone screen. So we don't appreciate that so much. And it is disconnecting us if we misuse it. So for me, for example, Facebook can be really helpful, because I've connected with people that I could have never connected otherwise. I met the mother of my son through Facebook, for example. So this is Facebook baby, right? So it has its perks, okay? We can talk to someone else on the other side of the planet, live. How amazing is that, right? We can travel, we really save time. Before you wanted to travel from one continent to another, maybe it took 3 months, and you could die on the way easily. The same example, for example, at the time of the Buddha, around 2,500, 3,000 years ago, when the Buddha was around, you would go to his teachings, you would take maybe 2 months, 3 months, you had to walk. You could be confronted by bandits, you could fall sick and die, and so many you could get lost. How do you know where you're supposed to go? People spoke different languages. You walk for 2 weeks, suddenly you don't speak the same language. And they have no idea where you're going. You have no GPS. And then we get to where the Buddha was teaching, and everybody's already has their seats, and your seat is way over there. So you're okay, how am I going to hear what the Buddha is saying after 3 months of traveling? And then how do you hear this? Maybe after 2 days you have to hear the interpretation of these people who've been hearing it, who've been telling it. So it comes to you maybe after 5 people, it arrives to you what the Buddha said, or supposedly said. Right? So at that time, just to listen to some teachings was so difficult, just to travel. Now, we want everything now. If I don't have it now, I can't wait for 2 seconds. I get stressed. But then we lie down in front of the TV and waste our time watching TV for hours. Completely useless. And then we're not stressed. Why are we not stressed then? We're really wasting our time. Why are we not stressed? But then we're stressed because somebody's taking a little bit longer time or something's not working exactly when we want it to work. So that's also technology is kind of it's creating this habit in us that we expect, for example, idealization. When we idolize, we are creating the cause for us to be disappointed. We do that every day. We project. Most of the times we are thinking about yesterday or tomorrow. Oh, this happened, oh my God, oh. There is no fault. There is no mistakes. As long as you learn from it. You have to repeat it 5 times. Okay. If you learn from it, good. So, it works a little bit like that. I mean, you check, you have to check. I mean, you can't, the Buddha always said, what the teachings are, you have to check, you have to observe, you have to doubt. You have to treat the teachings and the philosophy like a goldsmith treats gold. If you give a goldsmith gold, he's not going to be like, oh yeah, this is precious. No, he's going to take that gold, he's going to go to his workshop, he's going to melt it, he's going to scratch it, he's going to really check through the gold. And when he actually says, okay, this is true gold, then he's going to say, this is precious. This is a precious metal. So that's how you have to act with the teachings, with the philosophy. Right? It's not, religion is one thing, the institution is another thing. And there's 2 types of institution, right? One is the one who represents the religion, and the other one is the one who actually holds the philosophy of life. It's not some kind of concept, it's an attitude, it's a lifestyle, it's philosophy of life. Right? Just the teachings by themselves is like a bulb without electricity. We are the electricity, we are the ones who give it the light, the functionality. So basically, to answer your question, I think we just have to train ourselves to be more equanimous, more balanced, more observe ourselves more. But it's amazing what we have available. This is, for me, it's a golden age. In the same day, we can travel from one side of the planet to the other. And even we have really good, medical care, and we have really good food, and we have so many available possibilities in life. So just make the best of it, and we just try to see how we can avoid complaining. Because when we complain, we really bring ourselves down. When we get angry, when we become toxic or unhappy or aggressive or depressed, we have to channel that vibration through our body. Okay, so if somebody is talking badly to us, don't take it personally. If you have empathy, you will see that that person is suffering, and that is the way they're expressing themselves. So what can you do is don't take that energetic snowball and throw it back at them. Because then a snowball just keeps rolling. Eventually it can destroy a home, a house, right? The snowball rolls down a hill, long enough, it's going to be huge. So how do we transform that? So you observe the person, see that they're suffering, and give them love, give them understanding. Listen to them. Try to understand them. Don't listen to them to answer them. Listen to them to understand them. Listening is an art. It's the main factor of communication. So many times people who express themselves with rage, it's because they're suffering, and all they want to be is recognized. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to be understood. They want to be part of something, they want to be functional, they want to feel that they are useful. So that it's just an exchange, And that's, every day we have that opportunity. And the people that really put in practice this aspect of ourselves, they are our teachers. We have to be grateful, because without people who really put in practice these emotions, and how are we going to really observe? Somebody who's meditating in a cave for 20 years, okay, it's a great feat. But put them in the middle of a family, householder. I'm sure they'll run back to the cave straight away. So we are putting in practice all the aspects. And we are, if we actually are aware and work with it. It's not like 24/7. Just try a little bit, morning and at night. At night, before you go to sleep, turn off your mind. Try to breathe. And observe how the process of falling asleep happens. Most of the times we think. Oh, I can't sleep. Why? Because you're thinking all the time. That's why you can't sleep, because you don't stop thinking. It's okay to think a little bit, right? Or what did I do today? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? How do I want to improve? What do I want to avoid doing? Like that. That's good to think, right? But not too much. In life you have to have a balance. You must have a middle way. Extremes are not good. Moderation blessed. So you observe that process of falling asleep and you manually fall asleep, not automatically, not think, then you get so tired, and you fall asleep, you don't even know how you fell asleep. So that already is going to make a huge difference in your life. 2 minutes in the morning when you wake up, 2 minutes at night when you fall asleep. When you wake up in the morning, you dedicate motivation. Today, I have this precious body, this precious human rebirth, and I would like to dedicate this space, this energy, this time to help others to be happy, starting with myself. But the true happiness, not that me, I want to be happy, me, and then you suffer. I'm not happy. It's impossible. You can never be happy with that attitude. It's impossible. So wake up with that dedication. And then you go to sleep at night. How can I improve? What can I do better? What can I do like that? So that's going to already be a huge factor in your life. It's going to change your life completely. Okay. Okay, more questions? Please.
Talking again about being useful. A lot of us see what's going on.
When you talk about being useful, because of technology and because of being able to see a lot of more about what's going on than maybe people did before, there's also often a corresponding feeling of uselessness and helplessness with regard to what happens, how can I effectively make things better when perhaps I can't do something. What can you do when you can't do something?
Okay. So we are part of the collective, right? And of course the collective memory. Humanity has a collective memory. So every thought you have is going to have an effect. Right? So the first step is to transform yourself. That's how you're going to change everything. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And you can't change others, and you can't even change yourself. How are you going to change others? How can you judge others if you don't even know yourself? We don't know how we're going to react in certain circumstances tomorrow. When something happens, we don't know how we're going to react. Many times when we do react, we don't even know why we reacted like that. So we don't even know ourselves how we're going to judge others, right? So basically that's how I see it, like change yourself if you can. So how to do that? If you can't change anybody, even yourself you can't change. But what can you do? What can you do? Have a motivation, have an aim, have an objective. Give yourself the space for that to occur. And it will happen. And then through the example, people can learn from you also. If you bring yourself down every day, oh, I'm hopeless, that's what you're going to be. You're going to be hopeless. You create your own reality. You attract what you project. If you fear something and you're projecting that, oh, I don't want this, that's what you're going to receive. That's what's going to appear in your life. Because you're creating, you're projecting that. So many times, for example, if you wanted to rain, you visualize the puddles the next day. It's just an example, right? The result. So you visualize where you want to be, how you want to be, and what you're going to achieve when you're there. And through that, you're going to create that reality. But always try to vibrate in a high frequency, Because otherwise, it's up to you. You're the one who channels it. You're the one who decides how to perceive something. The people who have absolutely nothing, and they're suffering so much, but they're super happy. You know why? Because they perceive it in a different way. People who have everything can be so unhappy because they perceive it in a different way. Change your mind, change your life. Is that helpful? Good question.
So can you give us a practical example of how can we change the perception of things, especially the negative thing that might happen to us? How can we, take this thing that happened and transform it into a positive thing? How can we do this?
So like I said before, gratitude is a very important factor. When we're grateful, we're only observing the good things in our life. One of the things that we're wired into society, the system like that, because it's like a habit, we overvalue negativity much more than positivity. Much more. You check the news, you will see that. You know, one mother, single mother, who raised 5 of her children by herself, passed into university. 20 years of hard work. Do you think that's going to make headlines? A mother who killed her son in 1 second of rage? That's going to make headlines. Why? It's very easy to squish a bug and kill it. But can you make the bug alive again? Can you create that existence of that bug again? No. You have no power. We don't have that power. But why do we believe that we have the right to kill a bug if we can't give it life again? We can't put it back together again. That is the kind of attitude that creates suffering. Because we believe we have the right, but we don't actually. Not even with ourselves. We have no right to take our own life. You know? We have to really value what we have. And if you change that perception, you can always be happy. You can always share that happiness and joy. So basically, that's like gratitude. Observe the positive things in your life, and that's what will prevail. Overvalue positivity. And if you value negativity, use it as a means to learn, to change, to know what you have to avoid. You know? That's, for me, how I can see it. Using a little bit the philosophy of Dharma, Buddhism, like that. But I know it's not easy. It's very easy to talk about it. Very easy to say. You know? Talk is cheap. But yeah, me personally, I struggle a lot. I'm always struggling. I just try not to give up. And that's my philosophy. So it's not an easy thing, and it's just every day you just have to work on it slowly, baby steps. The baby doesn't start walking from one day to another. And you can't teach a baby how to walk. Right? They have to learn by themselves. With my son, first when he started, what do you call it, crawling, right? Walking on 4 legs, he didn't know how to do it properly. So I would do it in front of him so he could see and be like, hey, oh wow, that's very practical. Use your knees also, you know, to walk. It's just like dragging himself. Yeah. So walk with my knees and arms. He'd be like, oh, and then he would start doing it. But did I teach him? No, he learned to do that. There's a phrase I found, I wanted to read it out, that is related to this actually. Very interesting. It says, doctors don't make you healthy, right? Teachers don't make you learn. Trainers don't make you fit. Coaches don't make you rich. At some point you have to realize your growth is your responsibility. Right? So that's just one more example of the attitude that we should have in life. And that's how we can work. It's a process, it's a learning process. The whole life is a process, a learning process. And every time as we go improving, we will be, you see back, you look back and you go, wow, all I've achieved. You look in the front and say, wow, how much more I have to do. But at least you achieved what you have achieved up to now. So, yeah.
Yes. How to understand the concept of reincarnation?
Good question. Okay. So, reincarnation, yes. Think about it. Of course, the mystery of life is beautiful. If we knew what's going to happen tomorrow, then today would not be so interesting. So the beauty of the mystery is very nice. It's good sometimes to have some mystery, because that piece of the magic. I know, wow, what's going to happen? I don't know. So I might as well make the best of it today, right? So I don't believe that suddenly this goes all black and that's it, end of story, we never existed or whatever, I really truly believe that there's a stream of consciousness that continues. And there's so many stories and examples in the world where people they remember the past lives, and scientifically it's proven also. Examples. I mean, this example, for example, this is one guy, he's watching TV one day, he's watching this documentary about Petra, right? So they're just uncovering it. And he's like, hey, I've been there, I was there. He remembered the past life, suddenly. So he traveled all the way there, and he was talking to people. They were really skeptical about the fact that he remembered. He remembered he was a warrior at that time. And then he saw what they already excavating. He said, over there, there's another building, there's another building, there's another building. And exactly like you said, they were excavating, they were coming out with it. There's this one building, they didn't know what it was for, and he explained what it was for. Like where the soldiers came, I don't remember very well, but it's in the book called, what's it called? The philosophy, book of life and death, something like that. Tibetan book of life and death. It gives many examples of stories like that. Or a girl that remembers her past life, and she remembered her family from the past life, so she went to meet them. She remembered her family, the names, who she was, and many things that only the family members could know individually. She knew all the secrets. So it's very isolated examples, but it does happen. We are all reincarnations, right? This is just a vehicle. It's just a temporary vehicle for us to learn the process of life. And then we move on to the next process. But I think it's a beautiful way to see life. I mean, you choose how to see it. I've been very skeptical about reincarnation most of my life, but slowly I'm starting to adapt into that concept. But I still have difficulty. I mean, personally, I'm not a Buddhist. Okay? I grew up in a monastery. I studied most of my life Buddhism. But I'm learning Buddhism. And I probably will always be learning about Dharma and Buddhism. So I don't really want to put myself in a box and say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, because I'm happening, I'm changing, So that's how I see it. I mean, if you want to say I'm Buddhist, that's great, But it's not about what you are, it's what you're being, your attitude. You can say, oh, I'm Buddhist, I'm doing this practice, that practice, and then you talk to a waiter just because you brought the wrong food or something, you get really angry because you're stressed, or you talk back to them. That's not a Buddhist for me, at least. From my point of view, it's not. How important is it to observe people? People who are working, especially. Many times we just take it for granted. That's your position, that's what you're supposed to do, you're at my service. No. How many times we just act like that person doesn't exist? So just one thing, for example, just if you ask somebody who's working and you have to interact with them for a second, be super kind, super patient, super observant. And ask them, how are you? When is your shift going to finish? How's your life? Are you happy? Give them a smile. Speak gentle words to them. It may change the day. This is one very interesting story about a factory. I think it was a butcher factory or something like a meat factory. And then there's this one guy who gets locked up inside one of these big fridges. Freezer. So, I don't know why, but many of these freezers, when you close, if you get locked inside, it can happen. So this guy got locked in a freezer right before everybody was leaving. So he got locked and everybody left for the night. So he was like, okay, that's I'm gonna die now. So he was already gave up, getting ready to die. Nobody was gonna open. Who's gonna open, right? Then suddenly somebody opened the door. And he was like, wow, how did that happen? Guess who it was? The guard at the door of the factory. And he said, how did you know I was here? And the guy said, you are the only one who says good morning and who says good night when you leave. I was waiting for my good night and I did. So I came through for you. I don't know if it's a true story or not, but it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful example. Okay, how you can save your life, being kind to somebody. Hello, good night, sleep well. That's it, It can change your life, just like it changes another person's life. The small details. Life is made up of many small details. So you start with the small details, and then you will see the big detail. More questions, please.
When you talk about being present and being aware of the present moment, we're living in a really fast pace with a lot of responsibilities, and I find it really hard to be present.
That's the question. So, train your mind. Okay, so this is the thing. Education educates us to work. But do we really receive the education of how to live? That's up to the parents. That's the responsibility of the parents to teach the children how to live. So it's really important to know how to live. It's more important than work. We don't live to work. We work to live, right? So as long as you train your mind and you're really aware of the mechanisms, you can be super at peace, super happy, super present. No worries. Just don't take things personally. It's not about you. The universe does not go around you. At the moment you realize that, you'll be able to just let go, and be aware of others. Okay, this is happening. Yeah, you try to be, try to act according to how can you help people surrounding you. And that automatically is going to make you so much happier and more present. The only reason we get stressed and we get depressed is because we are constantly feeding that. So depression, for example, I've had to deal with depression for most of my life. And okay, yes, sometimes the only kind of like thing that helped me to get out of space and time. Right? I had to just go through it. Trust, hope, have faith, believe in me, move forward. And of course, thank you to all my friends and people who know me and who love me, who gave me a lot of help also. In many cases, sometimes people don't have that, don't have anybody. So how do they get out of depression? So there's many different factors. Number one would be nutrition. We have to be aware of what we eat. We are what we eat. So nutrition is very important. Drink water. Sometimes you don't drink enough water, your brain starts malfunctioning, and then you see it as depression. But actually, just your brain is talking to you. Your body talks to you. You listen to your body. It's really useful to be able to listen to your body. Say, hey, okay, what do you need? To be grateful to your body for your body. In your heart, that's love, man. Since 2 weeks that you were conceived, the heart started pumping. It has never stopped. For your whole life. You're not even aware. Are we even grateful for that? Do you know how much work the body, how much, they're not lazy, the body is not lazy. The body is constantly in our service, making so many efforts for us to be here. So, the moment we're able to create these conditions so that we can see the reality as it really is, that's going to help us a lot to not be stressed. Because we don't take it so seriously or so personal. This equanimity, be equanimous. That's the advice I can give. Of course, I'm sure there's many more techniques, but for now that's what comes into my mind.
You were talking before about destructive emotions and like you being in a house and not letting people in, so how do you manage those emotions?
So there's many different types of emotions, of course. Destructive emotions. We have to channel that emotion. Okay, so the first step is to be aware of your own bullshit, basically. I'm sorry about my French. So the first step of change is to see that. That's the first step of change. So destructive emotions, sometimes you have to go through the process in order to learn, to change, and to improve, in order to help others also to be able to do that. I have a lot of destructive emotions and they keep coming and I keep losing control and I keep inviting them to my house, offering them tea and giving them full control of my body, and my attitude and everything. But it's step by step, slowly. And many times it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm super patient, until there's a catalyst. And then you realize you're not patient at all. And it can be many causes and circumstances. It can be building it up. It can be building up the stress, building up the anxiety, building up this stuff. And then you have a catalyst and boom, you explode. So it's always step by step, being observant. Whenever you feel, or any time of the day, you just, just breathe, observe, check, analyze, doubt. Don't take everything for granted. Don't believe everything that you see. What you see, believe half. What you don't see, don't believe any of it. It's a song, actually, but it's really nice. The concept. It's true. So basically, it's training. You have to train yourself to be ready. Because sometimes these things will happen when we're least ready, and then we lose control, and then we regret it afterwards. But at least if we are aware, if we recognize, we learn from it, and we change that kind of way of reacting slowly, we'll be much happier. This will be the example of stability, the example of peace of mind, the example of happiness and joy. And then people are going to want a piece of that. They're going to, hey, what's up with this person? Why are they all the time happy? In any circumstance, in any difficulty, they're always smiling. I want a piece of that. And then you can share that by example. But if you're always grumpy, you're always unhappy, you meet somebody, oh, how are you? Ah, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Then in the end, you bring the other person down. And it's good to talk about your problems with your close friends who love you, who know you, who understand you, who care for you. And not too much. Don't overdo it. Don't go into this cycle of self-pity. It's just feeding the same and it's just going to bring you down, right? So, yeah, just to be aware, step by step, slowly. And I admire so much the people who are suffering so much, physically maybe or mentally, but when you meet them, they give you the best of themselves. They smile at you, talk really nice, they're super kind. How are you? I'm doing good. You're like, wow, if they can be happy, how come I'm not happy? I know many people like that, suffer so much, but they always give the best of themselves. And you know they're suffering, but they always give the best of themselves. That I admire so much. And then I look at myself and I look at me. Wow. So that is the shining example of what I want to be eventually. And that's what I'm aiming for, what I'm striving for. So step by step, we make mistakes. If we don't make mistakes, it means we're not doing anything. So it's not a bad thing to make mistakes. There's no fault, there's no guilt. So as we move forward, we learn from it, okay? So it's okay to make mistakes. Try at least to be aware and recognize, make an effort also. For example, forgiving or apologizing. It's very important in life. Even when you're not wrong, if you apologize, at least you're giving space for the other person to apologize. If you're not wrong, you say sorry, they're like, oh, that's weird. You know what, actually, I'm sorry too. And then boom, poof, disappear, right? Forgiving. Sometimes we have to forgive, even if it's not our fault. Otherwise, we're carrying the mistake and the problem of the other person all our life, when it's not even ours. Also, not only that, when we forgive, we allow the other person to forgive themselves also. Poor person who's probably carrying that on his life, and you don't want to forgive him. He's probably regretted or she or whatever it is, But if we forgive, we are not carrying that anymore. Oh, they did this, they did that. Unacceptable. I cannot forgive them. You're telling that, you're carrying that, So all these are aspects in life that are so important to be aware of.
Yes. You referred to the concept of reincarnation and remembering examples of people who remember their past.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Lama Yeshe from the time I was 19, and so it is emotional for me to have you sitting here in Miami where I was born. And I first went to India in '68, and I returned in '74 for the Kalachakra initiation with the Dalai Lama. And that's where I first met Lama Yeshe.
Wow.
Yes. And I wasn't really prepared for the meeting. I was actually a student at Harvard, and I took off and I went directly to Bodh Gaya and my immune system was not adjusted or whatever. I became extremely ill with a very high fever. And I didn't know if I was going to live or not. Actually, it was Nick Rebush, who was a doctor from Australia, who went and found Lama Yeshe and brought it. I was like hallucinating. I had such a high fever. But so it's quite emotional for me to have you sitting here in the place I was born, because in a very significant way, Lama Yeshe intercepted and in fact sort of saved my life, because he arranged for me to get to the train and get out of Bodh Gaya back to Delhi. So it's not to disassociate, but there's an important process of integrating this concept. Since that time, I've gone through quite a journey of exploration, and with past life regressions, etc. Trijang Rinpoche became my main teacher from '68 until his passing. I don't know. The only time I intercepted with you before this, sometime in the train, where synchronistically we were on the same plane from Bodh Gaya to Darjeeling. I don't know if you were 3 or 4 or what that sequence was. But in terms of, I can't help but wonder how you relate to seeing the YouTubes or the photographs or the films of Lama Yeshe and having been told that you are Lama Yeshe. And if that's a process of disassociation, or it's definitely a very deep process. And this is a new experiment for Westerners. It's certainly my first experience to have known a Lama that I considered a great big influence on my life, and to be sitting here in the place of my birth and being told that this is the reincarnation.
Oh, we're all reincarnations, right?
Well, I know we are all reincarnations, but you left.
So, you want me to talk about myself more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about my life story. So basically, since I was 14 months, I was recognized. And by the time that I was 14 months, I was already in India. I was already in India, and I was going through the process of being recognized. Right? So I had to go through different tests. So this long process. There's books written about that. But one of the main ones is where you just choose objects from your past life that are mixed with many other similar objects. Like you have 5 sunglasses, and one of them is from your past life. You have 5 rosaries, one of them is from your past life. Like that, objects. So a 14-month-old baby can't stop, he can't speak, right? So basically, there are 10 candidates actually, possible reincarnations. It's a process. So the first thing was Lama Zopa was the main disciple of Lama Yeshe. Lama Yeshe is my past life, recognized by his son as the Dalai Lama. So he had a vision. And when he went to Ling, which is where my parents were living, he saw the same vision, same baby. So that already for him was a sign. So starting from there, they decided to process and making sure that that was the right candidate. So I chose all the objects. Then they asked Namdrol, the oracle, right? So the oracle confirmed. And then they asked the son of the Dalai Lama, and the son of the Dalai Lama confirmed. And then during the next 3 years, there's so many stories of how I recognized people who did things that I could not have done unless I knew the relationship with that individual person and Lama Yeshe. So many things like that. Anyways, I can talk a lot about that, but I wanted to more to focus about my own experience. And yes, so ever since I remember, my first memory was, I think I was almost 2 years old, and I was sitting on somebody's lap in a jeep, and I was really, really happy and excited. And I was super happy because I was going to see and meet his Holiness Dalai Lama. So that's my first memory ever. And I was already dressed in tunics as a monk. So I received the Rabjung ordination, which is the first ordination, right, as a monk. You have 4 vows, the group vows. So that was my first memory, and ever since I remember, that was my life. You know, that was. I mean, as children, we adapt to the circumstances very easily because that's all we know. So until I was 18, that was my life. And then when I turned 18, I was like, okay, now I am independent. So now I want to live my life. I don't want to live other people's lives. Right? People wanted me to live their life. And I also realized another thing. Whatever I did, people will never be satisfied. People will never be happy. I could not make people happy. Ever. So basically I was wasting my time trying to fall into the box. People projecting on me. Oh, we want you to be like that. Or we expect you to be like that because this is our idealization. So when I was 18, I was like, okay, that's it, enough. You know, I've come up to here now. I'm going to follow my life, and I want to understand myself. I mean, how am I supposed to? I mean, for the time I was spending in the monastery, everything I was learning about Dharma, I didn't really make much sense out of it until I left the monastery. When I was immersed into samsara. Then I was like, okay, now I understand what Dharma is talking about. Now it makes sense. And thanks to that, it helped me so much. If it were not for the information that I received as a child growing up, it would have been really difficult for me to deal with what happened to me in my life when I left. Because I completely cut completely, so I had to start anew, and I had no idea about anything. I've been isolated completely for 18 years. Well, not completely, I had some contact. But I didn't have independence or freedom or any of that. So that was a huge process, experience. So after 15 years, you know, I started to make the connection again, but my way. So I'm really happy about the process and where I've arrived, but I have a lot of work to do still, and really, my inner wish is to be of service. You know, that's what I really want to do, and in order to do that, I have to prepare myself, I have to train myself, I have to work on myself, and it's dedication, lifelong dedication. So, anyways, that's short history of my life. Here I am in Miami, super awesome. I love samsara. It's okay. Have to.
I mean, from India to Ibiza, right?
Yeah, exactly. From the monastery, I was in the monastery, there was no music, there was no women. They were not allowed in the monastery. If they came, they had to be covered from neck to ankles. By 7 in the afternoon, they had to leave the monastery. So there was barely ever race anywhere. And no music, you know, no sports. It was not allowed to play sports. You know, I mean, because of course, you know, it's a distraction. And so to avoid all distractions. So basically it's just study. When I entered the monastery when I was 6 years old, and I was already studying 8 to 9 hours a day. By the time I was 16, I was studying 16 hours a day. Sometimes even 18. So then I'm really exhausted 6 days a week. So it's not easy, it's not very hard, but I'm really grateful for the process, because it really helped me to learn more things, even though I've forgotten most of it. But it helped me to discipline, to learn, to understand, like that. So anyways, you can learn many things, but as long as you don't relate it to your own experience, it's completely useless. You know, you can study for 15 years about being an engineer, and they'll drop you in a mechanic and you don't even know where to start. But you've been working for 7 years with a mechanic, they drop you in a plane factory, and at least you kind of understand a little bit what's going on, you know? You have an idea of what happened. So it's a little bit like that. When you actually do it in practice, you learn much more. The process, the experience. But the intellectuality is also complemented as part of that. So remember, put the wisdom together with the compassion and the understanding of reality. So you can renounce, but not renounce, oh, I don't want to enjoy anymore. It's not like that. It's just enjoying, but understanding. There's just interpretation. What we think is there is not really there the way we believe it. So just that will help us not to be so attached, not to be more present, and to really, actually really enjoy. When you enjoy it, when you flow with it, that's when you enjoy it. When you let go.
some level that you needed to disassociate from being told that you were Lama Yeshe?
Well, I mean, for me, I'm me. That's it. You know, I mean,
I know, but
who am I? I've always asked myself that question. I probably will always be asking myself that question.
well, I
It's
think,
just many aggregates come together, many conditions, many situations, and it's just happening.
well, I think, I'm very aware that we're creating a new reality of what's happening, the re-entry of spiritual beings coming back in human form. And I think it's quite a heavy thing to be told or to be projected to someone you don't even know for sure you are or knew. I'm a medical anthropologist and I've worked with a number of reincarnations, of visual reincarnates, and it's like a new laboratory for me to see the old masters coming back now as you are. And this is, and to encounter you here in my hometown is a major thing for me subconsciously, but I've encountered a number of them.
Okay. So basically, until maybe a couple months ago, I was really suffering a lot.
Yes.
I mean, that's Bob Marley is saying that. He said, "You think you're in heaven, but you're actually in hell." But it's just the concept. It's just the perception, right? I mean, for me, I've always struggled to say, "Who am I? What am I? Am I really? Am I not?" I gave up on that. And I understood that there's nothing to understand.
Well, I think that the personality, the cycle that I've seen of substantial disassociation and the need to recreate the reality outside of a culture that's gone.
Mm-hmm. So what do you want me to say? Sorry.
I don't want to project that into you at all.
Just tell me.
No,
I'll be sincere.
I'm being sincere. I don't have an agenda of what I want you to say.
Okay.
I think I'm sharing this moment
Mhm.
with this wonderful being who's sitting in front of me, and regardless of, I work to release the idea that you are Lama Yeshe or have been Lama
I don't know. I
Yeshe,
mean,
and I value the training. But there are for people who have been, lifelong students.
can I just talk about something?
Yeah.
Okay. People are attached to the group. Okay, this is something I wanted to talk about. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I call it spiritual bypassing. I mean, it happens every day, and not just with spirituality. We take refuge in something in order not to avoid confronting ourselves. So many times, we can take refuge in many different aspects of life. Whether it be materialistic or, maybe even grasp to formless attachments. Formless attachment is sensations, emotions. How people make us feel in the company of your partner, or maybe some external substance, that makes you feel a certain way. So you get attached to formless aspects of yourself. Just like that. And I forgot.
Attachment to the guru.
Spiritual bypassing. Thank you. So we take refuge in something in order to avoid confronting ourselves, our innermost fears, right? But if we don't confront ourselves, whatever we take refuge in is not going to help us, because eventually, one day, you will have to confront that aspect of yourself, no matter what. Okay, so the earlier the better. And spiritual bypassing is a little bit like, you just focus everything on the outside of you. So like the guru is going to save me. Spiritualism is going to save me. That's, I do persuasions, I do water balls, I study, I practice, so that therefore I'm okay, I'm safe. I'm a good person. That's not how it works. You have to confront yourself, you have to be aware of your own fears in order to really take the right steps. So it's complementary. The guru, dharma, whatever you take refuge in can be complementary if you use it properly. But the main aspect is to confront that fear you have. So, the guru, for example, very clear example. People, oh, the Guru is going to save me. The Guru. They get so attached to the Guru, to such a point that even if the Guru has been teaching for 40 years, one of the teachings is impermanence, and then he passes away, we're so attached, we project so much, we have so many things. We put all of that on a 14-month-old baby who's innocent. He does not deserve that. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm talking from experience. That's my life. That's been my life. I had to accept that, and I did not understand why. Now that I have a son that's 2 years old, I understand even less why. So it really just. But I'm really grateful for the opportunity I was given. I really want to be able to adapt to that situation and make the best of it. I don't want to carry some weight on my back and be like, oh, this happened to me. Now I complete my life because no. This happened to me. I'm going to use it as a means to learn. And it's a lesson. It's not a weight, it's not a backpack, it's a lesson. And I move on. But that is the truth. People get so attached. They want more of it. They're not satisfied with domination.
No, I think also don't project that on certain people too, like myself, who never entered that field of the Guru devotion. I actually had what I would say a personal friendship with Lama Yeshe. I knew him before.
That's great.
He ever lived to us.
Lama Yeshe is my best friend.
No, it wasn't my
I really would like to meet him also.
It wasn't my guru. And in fact, I never entered into my study of spirituality in the Guru devotion that many West, I think, doesn't totally adapt to the Western world.
Yeah, for example, Dharma was created in a time where faith was a very important key factor in the transformation of our own mind. But today we have to adapt to the modern times. Faith doesn't work so much. So we need to find different methods. We have to update Dharma. Right? I think there were some more questions.
Yeah, the gentleman there.
Okay, so we'll do, how many questions are there? Just raise your hand. How many people want to ask questions? 1, 2, 2? Okay, so we're going to add 3. So 3 questions and we'll wrap it up, okay?
So, dissatisfaction, how do you deal with it? Because
let me just tell you one phrase. Less is more is less. That is dissatisfaction. The more we have, the less we enjoy something. The less we have something, the more we enjoy it. So it's about moderation. Everything with moderation can be good. Everything without moderation can be bad. So dissatisfaction, basically, if you're unsatisfied, it means you're not living the moment. You're not present. As long as you're present, you will be satisfied. Okay? This is a repair.
I want to ask you what kind of meditation is good to overcome fear? Like fear of change. Sometimes when you become then your life puts you in a situation that you need to change job or lifestyle to become fearful.
Okay. So fear is a fight or flight. It's an instinct of survival. Or you fight or you run, right? That's how animals react like that. You have to make a split decision. You have to choose how you want to survive. If I run, maybe I'll get killed because the tiger's going to run after me. If I fight, then he's going to get surprised, and at that moment, maybe I can run and I'll be able to escape. So in a split second, you have to make a decision, but you don't have time to make the decision mentally. So you're based on instinct, right? But the thing is that when we mix that instinct with the mind, then it becomes very complicated. So that is one of the things that we have to be able to make a distinction about. And fear can be very helpful, very constructive, but not too much. You can be fearful of, like, I have to wake up, I have to make the best of my life, I have to really, put my batteries on. That kind of fear, like, I'm wasting my time, I have to make the best of it. That kind of fear is productive, constructive fear. But the fear is like, you just keep, if you're in that fear, then you're projecting what you don't want, and you're creating that reality, you're attracting that in your life. So you're putting on a pedestal what you don't want, basically. So that's why, be aware of the mind, of the thoughts, use them, but don't fall into them, don't fall prey to them, don't let them control your life. The same goes with fear. It can be very helpful, it's a tool, it can be a tool, but don't use it to bring you down or to make life more difficult for you. You are the captain of your boat. Right? You choose to use the wind in your favor, but you are the one who chooses where you want to go. Don't let the wind just take you wherever it is and crash you against the rocks. Take hold of your life, take responsibility, and move in the direction that you want to go. And use everything that you have available for that, and dedicate it to help other sentient beings. And I guarantee you'll have a happier life. Thank you. Okay, the last question.
What do you think is love?
Oh, this is the most complicated question. What do I think is love? So, love. You see, first of all, the word love, you cannot, it's just one word to express something so complex, so vast, so universal. It's very difficult for me to really be able to pinpoint and express to you what love is. I didn't really know what love was. I knew the concept, but I never really experienced it until I had a son, for example. Many times I've had relationships, oh I love you, I'm so happy. But in the end, what happens? Oh, you suffer. Why? Because it's not love, it's attachment. I will love you if you are just with me. I will love you if you fall into the conditions that I created, with the expectations. Then I will love you. That's not true love, that's conditional love. So what is unconditional love? The true love is unconditional love. That's universal. What do we breathe? When we breathe, what are we breathing? Love. Right? We share the same air, we share the same love. You can call it like that if you want. Evolution, God, our mother. In Dharma they talk about all mothers and beings. Why does it say that? Because according to the philosophy of Dharma, we have been dying and being reborn in the cycle of samsara for infinite lifetimes. To such a point that everybody has been the mother of each other. Everybody. So I've been the mother of everybody and everybody has been my mother, like that. So they say, all mothers and beings, that phrase exists. Why? So that we can relate to the unconditional love that the mother has for the children. And relate that love for all sentient beings. So that's just one example of love. Okay? So, I can't really touch base. It's just so... But love, the heart beating for you every single moment of your life, that for me also is love. Life is love. I don't know, there's just so many different examples. I can't really explain to you. You have to experience it yourself. And I think all of us experience. Life is love. Every moment we're living, that is love. Every moment that we look, when we look in people's eyes, when we feel, when we hug, when we share, that's love. What's the point of living if you can't share? You can't be happy if you can't share. When you're happy, what is the first thing that comes into your mind? Oh, I'd like to share that. I want company. You have to share that happiness. That's love also. There's so many aspects of love, but ultimately, love is life. Life is love. That's a little bit. I can touch a little bit there, but it's just so vast. So, I'm not qualified person to talk about that. I don't think. But I can try to express my love. So, thank you so much, everybody. I love you so much.